Good morning. At approximately 8:20 this morning, the Meriden Police Department responded to Platt High School at the request of school administrators. A video, believed to have been filmed in the school this morning, was posted on social media showing a student brandishing what was believed to be a firearm. The school was immediately placed in lockdown. The police department formed a perimeter around the school and secured it. Police worked with school administrators and staff to attempt to locate two suspects via internal video, school staff, and other means. It was learned the two suspects were inside the school but had not reported to either of their first two classes. Methodical search of the building was commenced. The two suspects were located in the auditorium along with another group of students. A 16 and 15-year-old male were taken into custody and will be charged with breach of peace. In the auditorium, a prop gun was located and reported to be the weapon in the video. All the students in the auditorium will face internal consequences. No injuries were sustained, and all the students are safe, secure, and back to learning. The Meriden Police Department would like to thank school staff, students, and parents for the cooperation. We also like to thank the ATF, Connecticut State Police, and the many other municipal police departments that reached out and offered us mutual aid. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Benigni.
Thank you, Deputy Chief. Obviously a tough morning for all of us, but it ended the way that we wanted it to end and that we all hoped it would end. The police department did a fantastic job. We called, they were on scene, they took control of the situation, they kept our students and staff safe. Principal Corsetti, along with his terrific staff at Platt High School, did all they could to alleviate student concerns during a tense situation. And at the end of the day, students were apprehended. It was a prop gun that was found with the student, but it was part of a video that obviously amped up the school system today and all of our concerns. I also can't thank the city for their partnership enough. I have my board president, Rob Kaczynski, vice president, Kim Carbone-Pandiani with me, the city manager and mayor. We say this all the time. What makes Meriden as special is we do come together, and when there's a problem, we don't ignore it, we address it, and we work on it. And can't thank the families enough. We shared information with them as early as we could. The principal sent a message out through Parent Square this morning, and then another message. We tried to keep them in the loop as much as we could, but at no point did we feel students' safety was in jeopardy, and that's because of our terrific police department. At this time, I'll open it up for questions that you have of any of the folks here.
Do you have, Superintendent? Of the video? I mean, can you talk about, was there any threat actually made in this video, or what did it show?
I'm sure you'll have the video soon if you don't already have it now. The video just had two students, and one of the students had brandished what looked or appeared to be a gun. That's what set us into motion today to put some safety precautions in place.
And was that video actually shot in the school?
Yes. It was our determination that it was. Based on the table, we thought some of the furniture appeared to be school furniture, and that's another reason for our swift action.
For the assistant chief, did the students say to you why they might have done it, or is it?
Well, at this point, it's still an ongoing investigation, and I think we also need to be mindful of their juveniles, so I really don't want to comment too much on what they said. I will tell you that they were cooperative with us once we located them inside the auditorium. We brought all the students out, detained them, located the prop gun, and they were very forthright as to what had occurred.
Have you had any encounters with these particular students before?
I personally haven't. I don't know what their past history is, but I would say I wouldn't comment on that anyway, being juveniles.
Okay. What charges do they face again? Can you talk to us?
They're going to be charged with breach of peace for causing basically excitement within the school system and pulling all these resources out. Unfortunately, they made a poor decision today, and for that, they're going to have to go to juvenile court and speak with somebody.
You mentioned internal discipline for those other students. What does that look like?
I can let the principal chime in, but obviously that will be up to suspension and consideration for expulsion.
Can you describe what?
Can you tell us a little bit about how you're trying to help some of the students? I know them returning has been a lot for them, so I mean, anything that you've been trying to do?
Definitely, and I think at this time I'll turn it over to Principal Corsetti. We have a lot of support programs in place, and I think, again, what may get lost today that I don't want to get lost is it was students who reported it to us. And that's what we want to continue the message to be. If something's wrong in your school and you're a student there, share it. Have that caring adult to share openly with, and that's what occurred today. Principal Corsetti.
I'm sorry, could you repeat your question?
We know that these social media threats have been popping up again and again. Is there anything that you've been trying to do to help some of the students they kind of navigate getting back into the classroom?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have increased staff in both of our counseling department, our school psychologists, all of our climate specialists, everybody who's there, whose specific job is to help kids. And they do a tremendous job, along with our teachers, building relationships with kids and working with kids, not just in advisory and not just with our advisory curriculum, but in their everyday curriculum, having conversations with students. Like Dr. Benigni said, we found out about this because a student reported it, because they trusted an adult. That was really the most important piece that set this in motion.
Can you talk, or you, Dr. Benigni, is there anybody in place within your school or the school system that monitors social media to kind of get ahead of things as well? This time it was the students who reported it.
Right. So, I mean, I could talk to you from a school point of view. And social media is a complex world, and to try and navigate it on our own, it moves constantly and shifts constantly. We do rely on the relationships we build with students. We rely on the relationships that our adults have with students to be able to see the threats as they come. We catch almost all of them, and we're pretty proud of that, and so that's what we continue to do.
Is there anything that gives you any belief that these students may have been dealing with something? I mean, is this something that is reoccurring for them, that they've been somewhat of a distraction?
So I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the specific students, but I would just say, generally when a situation like this occurs, the intent wasn't to cause this type of situation, to have 20 police officers on site to spend an hour and a half dealing with the situation. I don't think it was their intention was to cause this type of a situation, but they had other students really fearful today and families fearful, and for that, they need support, and we need to work with these students. The other thing we have in place in Meriden, we do have a safety management system. We're a one-to-one district. We've been a one-to-one district for years. Students have district-issued devices, and we have an outside monitoring system there, and I won't share any more because the system won't be valuable if I share too much about it. But we do track there, and at times we're notified when a student themselves may be at risk or other students may be at risk.
Can you talk about? Go ahead.
We're getting some phone calls this morning from concerned parents that a taser was also brought to school a couple of weeks ago and that was not addressed. Would someone be able to maybe discuss some of those, if that was actually factual and if that was the concern?
So when we receive reports from students and we receive reports from parents, we take them all very seriously. And any of the issues and incidents that we've had that have been reported to us, we've dealt with swiftly and with the support of central office and with the support of the police.
Can you confirm that there was a taser brought to school a few weeks ago?
We got a report of a taser a few weeks ago, and we dealt with that family and with those parents, and we worked with them on consequences for that.
Was it accurate though? Was there a taser? Or when you
We received a report of a taser, yes.
Did you find one? Was there one in the student's backpack?
You can answer.
Yeah, so report was made to us in the, sorry. I'm new to this. Report was made to us that there was a student with one in the girls' locker room. We apprehended the girl, we apprehended the backpack. We contacted the parent immediately, and the child was issued consequences.
And there was a taser in her backpack.
Yes.
Was there any communication to the rest of the parents, school community about that incident?
So we communicate with parents about incidents that happen within the building as we see fit. We consult with central office on that one. I, at this time, honestly don't recall if I sent a message out about that or not.
Do you know, Dr. Benigni, if a message was sent out?
It would have came from the school, but if it's an isolated incident where it maybe is only involving the knowledge of 3 or 4 people, usually it would stay in. If it's something that's created a disruption in the school day or students are fearful, then we send a general message out, and we send it out basically from the school sites.
Gotcha.
Can we talk about this a little bit too? Listen, there's been a lot of instances like this. You know, students, we've been hearing it from superintendents and districts across the state that this has been a challenging transition back for students after the year of the pandemic. Do you think that that has maybe contributed to not only this incident, but kind of what we've been seeing everywhere?
I definitely think it's been challenging to come back for many of our students. Meriden was open last year for in-person learning, and we never closed down a school. 70% of our students chose that option. But I think eventually we got to get to a spot where we say, you know, the pandemic happened, students have needs. How do we support our students and move forward? And that's where, as a system, that's where I and the board are working. Like, what can we do to move forward from the pandemic and stop? We've got to support the students where they're at now. and I think today is a lesson for all of us, and I think we can use this and the chaos that this situation created with a prop gun that brought the school to a standstill and a hold for almost 2 hours didn't need to occur. This gives us an opportunity to talk with students, but again, I'm going to say, whenever there's a situation, the way we find out first is from our students. And again today, our students stepped up to the plate. They were concerned, they shared the video, and we were able to intervene with our terrific police department.
Principal Corsetti, did the students share the video with you or with the office here?
So it was shared with one of my climate specialists. So we have a staff of people called climate specialists, and their job really, like a climate, to take the temperature of the building. And they do a lot of that frontline building relationships with kids. And often they're the trusted adults that kids will go to first. So he shared it with one of our climate specialists who then alerted us to the issue, and we were able to take action from there.
Was this a social media challenge, or was this a TikTok video?
I couldn't tell you what it was as far as the detail as far as social. All I know is that it was on social media. It recognized it as a Snapchat video.
Is this you think it's a situation where, I don't know if it was you or Mark who said that the intent, you don't believe, was to cause harm or cause the school atmosphere to be in turmoil? Was it a matter of just, wanting likes and thinking it was kind of funny and cool?
Well, I can't speak to what the intention of the students were. I don't think that it was an intent to harm people. But it's an ongoing investigation, so I'll leave that up to our partners at the police department to determine that.
Where do you, a prop gun? Can you talk more about what a prop gun is?
The prop gun is just basically something that would be used in a show, in a theater. It has no ability to fire any ammunition or weapons like that. I think when you look at this is just some kids that, as kids often do, they made a poor decision today, and the school rightfully sounded the alarm and brought us in. And there's 1,100 students in this school, and I think they all did a fantastic job cooperating, along with the staff and and the teachers in there, and we were quickly able to resolve it. But at the end of the day, I just think a 15 and a 16-year-old that made a poor decision, and unfortunately they're going to have to answer for it. We'll learn from this and we'll move on.
Has the video been taken down?
Do you know if the video has been taken down?
To my knowledge.
So the police report that the video has been taken down. So in closing, the staff did a terrific job. Our students were amazing again, and our families, again, I thank them for their patience, and we'll always let them know what's going on. These are their schools, and we're proud of them. And again, I could say to the city, it's all about partnership, and what made today end with such a successful conclusion is because we work well together. So thank you for being here, and have a great day, everyone.
Chief, do you guys have SROs in the school?
We do.
You do. How many?
One.
Is there going to be an increased police presence today, tomorrow?
We're just to calm the fears of the students and the parents. We're going to have staff on scene out front all day today, just to help facilitate getting people in and out. We do have some students getting picked up, but that's more for optics than anything. We have no concerns that there's going to be any issues or problems.
Thank you, Chief.
Did you say that school is back in session or no?
It is. It is.
Kind of optional. Parents could either pick up their kids.
That's the school answer.
Tim, should you want your last name again, sir?
Scully, SCULLY.
Take care. Good to see you.